Hi everyone, it's Elise from Spicewalla, and today I'm making aguachile. So aguachile is Mexico's ceviche, basically. It's very similar in concept, a little bit different in preparation and ingredients, but an aguachile is basically raw shrimp that is marinated in a citrus-based marinade, also has some herbs and some heat, and then it's tossed with some vegetables and served immediately. So I am just yearning for warm weather and summer, so I really love that I can kind of create that mood with food. And I really just wanted to do that today. I really just want to pretend like it's summer. So what better way to do that than to make some aguachile? So here we go. So ingredients. We're going to need a pound of fresh shrimp, not cooked. The fresher though you can get, the better. Traditionally this is served raw. The shrimp is barely cooked in the marinade. I let it sit in the citrus marinade for a little bit longer. The citrus actually cooks the shrimp the longer it sits in there. So I'll let it rest for a little bit after we add the marinade. Then we have our thinly sliced vegetables. We have some red onion, some radish, and some cucumber. I have lots of fresh cilantro on hand. 2 jalapenos here that I've coarsely chopped. We're gonna throw these in the blender so you don't have to chop them really thin or small. I de-seeded one of these jalapenos and left the seeds in the other one because I want a little kick of heat, but I don't want it to be overpowering. You can use any chili peppers that you have. If you have serrano, chili de árbol, if you have some dried chili peppers in your house, you can rehydrate them and add them to this marinade. So use whatever chili pepper you like. I have about a half a cup of lime juice that I added water to make 1 full cup. And I just happen to have some agua fresca around. This is a pineapple agua fresca. It's basically just a fruit soda, but I figured it would be really good in this marinade. I like to balance out my sweet, spicy, and citrusy, so I'm gonna add a little bit of that, but that's optional. And then the star of the show today, Ancho Chilli Powder. This is like a staple in my kitchen. I use Ancho Chilli Powder in almost everything I cook. Breakfast burritos, chili, I mean, I just splash it in everything. It's so good. It adds a really amazing, like smoky, earthy flavor, and I think it's gonna balance out our marinade really well. Then a little bit of salt, and of course some tortilla chips to serve later. So first things first, we're gonna make our marinade. So let's add our lime juice and water to the blender, our 2 jalapenos, a little bit of salt. I'm kind of just eyeballing this cilantro. I would say like a cup's worth. You can add the stems right to it because we're blending it up, so no need to prep. I'm gonna add, say 1.5 tablespoons of the Ancho Chilli Powder, and then just a nice splash of this. Ooh, it's all fizzy. Agua fresca. All right, let's blend it up. Okay, so this is nice and pureed. I'm going to taste it. Always taste while you're cooking just to see if you need to add anything, adjust anything. Woohoo! That is spicy. Wow, that's gonna be so good. I'm actually gonna add just one little more splash of this agua fresca, but she is perfect. All right, we're gonna pour this right over our shrimp. And you want it to be enough to coat it. You don't want it to be like swimming in liquid, but you know, enough just to cover the top of the shrimp. You'll actually see it start to turn pink as it sits, the shrimp that is. So we'll just keep an eye on it. All right, it's been about 10 minutes. It took a little bit longer than I thought, but I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but you can kind of see it's going from grayish in color to pink. And that's just the citrus doing its thing and starting to cook this shrimp. So it's kind of at the point where I'm ready to serve. If you look at it and you're like, that's not quite the color I want to eat, you do you. Since we're ready to plate, I'm actually going to stir in some of these vegetables over here. So I've got some red onion. I'm only grabbing about half. We want to save some for garnish. Our radish, some cucumber, and stir all this together. If you feel like there's too much liquid, you can always take some out and then save it to serve. Or you can just save it and serve it with another dish. This is kind of like a really loose salsa, and it's really delicious. Also, if you have extra vegetables, you can just kind of marinate it in that salsa and eat that with anything really, on top of a salad or just by itself. All right, so we're ready to plate this. This can be pretty rustic. You can kind of leave as much liquid with it as you want. It's usually pretty liquidy when it's served, so don't be shy. Okay, now I'll add some fresh cucumber on here, some fresh onion. I also had some avocado that I'm going to put on the side. If you have any fresh cilantro left, go ahead and just kind of, like I said, this is kind of really rustic, so just kind of break up some cilantro here. Wait to serve it until you're ready to eat it, because, you know, you're dealing with kind of raw seafood here, so you really don't want it to sit for very long. You don't want to make it a day ahead. Like, you got to be ready to go. Oh, I forgot. I wanted to add more Ancho Chilli on top. All right. That's going to add a really nice smokiness and earthiness here. Perfect. Now it's complete. So this is a pretty standard Aguachile recipe. I don't want to spill it, but I want you to see it. And you just serve this with tortilla chips. This is like the perfect thing to eat when you're on a beach in Mexico, but you can't be on a beach in Mexico, just bring it to you, you know? I have to try this because it's just begging me to, but I hope you all make this at home. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.